emergence of DeepSeek now putting pressure on the U.S. tech names.
What we found is that Deepseek, which is the leading Chinese AI lab, their model is actually the top performing, or roughly on par with the best American model.
If the United States can't lead in this technology, we're going to be in a very bad place geopolitically.
Something huge just happened in the AI world, and nobody saw it coming. Deepseek just open-sourced cutting-edge AI technology in just 5 days, for free. Meanwhile, OpenAI dropped GPT 4.5, and guess what? It costs 280 times more than DeepSeek's model. Think about it. If AI is the future, OpenAI wants to be the gatekeeper, charging sky-high prices to enter. But DeepSeek, they just handed the keys to anyone who dares to build. And here's the craziest part. One of the most powerful AI domains in the world, AI.com, which used to redirect to OpenAI, suddenly, without warning, started pointing to DeepSeek's website. Coincidence? Or is something bigger happening? And the real question is, who's actually leading AI innovation? Is it the company giving away powerful AI tools to developers worldwide, empowering them to build the future? Or is it the one locking AI behind an expensive paywall, making sure only the wealthiest companies can afford to use it? Subscribe for deep dives into the latest Chinese innovations. To really understand what's happening here, let's think about it in a different way. Imagine you live in a world where only a few massive corporations control the entire car industry. Let's call them Big Auto. You dream of starting your own car company, designing the fastest, smartest, most efficient cars ever made. But there's a problem. Big Auto owns the best car blueprints. They control the most advanced assembly lines. They charge outrageous fees just to access their technology. If you want to build cars, you have two choices: pay them a fortune or get left behind. But just when it seems like there's no way to compete, a new player enters the scene, a company called Deepseek, and instead of playing by Big Auto's rules, they throw out the rulebook. In just 5 days, Deepseek doesn't just build a better car factory, they give away the entire blueprint for free so that anyone can build their own world-class car company. Here's how they did it, step by step. Day 1. Deepseek released MLA, Maximum Load Allocation. The factory's power grid, picture this. You finally get approval to build your dream car factory, but there's a major problem. The power system is a mess. Some assembly lines get too much electricity, overheating, and slowing down. Others get too little, causing constant delays. The whole factory is wasting energy and running inefficiently. Enter Deepseek's first release, MLA. It's like redesigning the entire electrical grid of the factory so that every machine gets exactly the power it needs. Nothing more, nothing less. No more bottlenecks, no more wasted energy. Everything runs at peak efficiency. With MLA in place, the factory is finally ready to run at full speed. Day 2. Deepseek released MOE, the Global Super Workforce. Now, you have power. But who's actually going to build the cars? In a traditional factory, you need thousands of specialized workers. Mechanics, engineers, painters, designers. Hiring all of them is expensive and takes years. But Deepseek had a better idea. They released MOE, which is like installing a high-tech, AI-driven hiring system that can summon the world's top specialists instantly on demand. Need an expert in electric motors? Boom, they're here. Need a team of engineers who specialize in self-driving technology? Done. Your workforce adapts instantly to whatever kind of car you need to build. Now, instead of spending years training workers, your factory can call on the best talent in the world at a moment's notice. Day 3. Deepseek released DeepGem, the ultra-fast assembly line. Alright, so the power is running smoothly and the workforce is top-notch, but what about the assembly line itself? Most car factories still build cars one step at a time, like an old-fashioned manual production line. It works, but it's slow, clunky, and outdated. Deepseek knew this wouldn't cut it, so on day 3, they released DeepGem, the equivalent of installing an ultra-fast robotic assembly line that makes everything 10 times faster. Now, instead of waiting for one machine to finish before the next one starts, everything happens in parallel. Engines are being installed while the wheels are being attached. Seats are being stitched while the car frame is being painted. Every step happens simultaneously, slashing production times. With DeepGem, your factory can now pump out high-quality cars faster than ever before. Day 4, Deepseek released DualPipe, the 24/7 production line. At this point, your factory is lightning fast, but there's still one limitation. It can only focus on one type of car at a time. Want to build electric cars? You have to pause SUV production. Want to switch to sports cars? Shut down the entire factory. Deepseek knew this was a huge inefficiency. So on day 4, they introduced dual pipe, a revolutionary system that lets your factory build 2 completely different cars at the same time. Now you have 2 independent production lines running side by side. One is producing family SUVs, while the other is cranking out high-performance sports cars, without slowing down. No downtime, no switching costs, just full throttle production. Now, your factory is not just faster, it's also smarter and more versatile. Day 5. Deepseek released The Revolution Begins, the open source blueprint. Now, here's where things get crazy. Most companies would patent this technology, charge millions in licensing fees, and keep it locked up forever. But Deepseek, they did the unthinkable. They took everything they had built, the entire car factory system, and gave it away for free. The power system, free. The global workforce connection, free. The ultra-fast assembly line, free. The 24/7 dual-track system, free. Anyone, whether it's a small startup or a college student, can now build their own cutting-edge car factory without paying a cent to OpenAI or any big company. So what does this mean for AI? Before this week, AI development was just like the old car industry, controlled by a few corporations that forced everyone to pay massive fees just to participate. But in just 120 hours, Deepseek rewrote the rules. Instead of forcing people to pay for access, they gave away the tools. Instead of locking AI behind corporate paywalls, they made it free for everyone. And that's why AI insiders are freaking out. Deepseek didn't just build better AI technology, they made sure anyone can use it. Now, the future of AI isn't controlled by a handful of corporations. It's in the hands of everyone. After Deepseek's 5-day open source blitz, the entire AI world was buzzing. Developers were celebrating, researchers were experimenting, entrepreneurs were dreaming. It felt like a new era of AI had just begun. And then, right in the middle of the excitement, OpenAI stepped in with its own big announcement. GPT 4.5 was here. The AI world held its breath. This was OpenAI, the industry giant, the company that had brought us ChatGPT, DALL-E, and some of the most advanced AI models ever seen. Surely they had something groundbreaking to counter Deepseek's momentum. The moment finally arrived. The live stream started, the blog post dropped, and then silence. Not the kind of awestruck silence that comes when something truly revolutionary is unveiled. This was the awkward, disappointed silence of a crowd waiting for fireworks, and getting a sparkler instead. Because what OpenAI actually delivered wasn't a next-gen leap in AI. It was a minor update wrapped in a fancy name. Now, to be fair, GPT-4.5 wasn't bad. It was fine. It was a little faster. It was a little better at math. It was a little more accurate. But it wasn't revolutionary. It wasn't the game changer people were expecting. It was like Apple launching a new iPhone and saying, "We made the camera 0.5% sharper and the battery lasts 12 minutes longer. That'll be $1,500, please." But then came the real kicker, the pricing. That's when the AI community went from mildly disappointed to outright furious. You see, Deepseek had just dropped a bomb on the AI world by releasing free open source tools that could rival some of the best proprietary AI systems. And now, OpenAI was rolling out GPT 4.5 at a price that made people's jaws hit the floor. Let's put it into perspective. GPT 4.5's API costs were 280 times higher than Deepseek's V3 model, 140 times more expensive than Deepseek's R1 model. Even for companies with deep pockets, this was outrageous. It was like Tesla announcing, "Hey, we made a small update to the Model S." And now it costs as much as a private jet. Developers looked at the numbers and thought, wait, are they serious? Small businesses and startups who had already been struggling with AI costs saw the writing on the wall. This wasn't just an AI model, this was a toll booth in front of the future, a paywall so high that only the wealthiest companies would be able to afford it. And that's when the AI world split into 2 camps. On one side, you had OpenAI supporters who tried to rationalize the move. Well, OpenAI needs to make money to keep improving their models. But on the other side, you had a rising wave of frustration. How are we supposed to build the future if only big tech can afford to play? And then, something even weirder happened. One of the most powerful and recognizable domains in the AI world, AI.com, which had always redirected to OpenAI's ChatGPT, suddenly changed. Overnight, it stopped pointing to OpenAI and instead redirected to Deepseek's website. It was like watching a huge company sponsor a Formula One team, only to rip their logo off the car mid-race and replace it with their rival's brand. No one knew who controlled AI.com or why they made the switch, but the message was loud and clear. Something was shifting. This wasn't just about GPT 4.5 being a letdown. This was about what kind of future we're heading toward. One side is building toll booths, charging ridiculous fees just to use the technology that will shape the next century. The other side is handing out blueprints, inviting anyone to build the future alongside them and push humanity forward without needing permission from a Silicon Valley giant. The question is, which side will you be on? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives to the latest Chinese innovations.